Okay, we are trying this again. Okay. Reject these terms. The more advantage I push for, the better I'll be off later, right? It's worth a try. I might only have one shot at this. There's one more thing. Say, kid, I don't know if you're stalling for time, but there's only so much garbage I'm willing to put up with. Haven't your parents taught you what happens when you're greedy? You lose everything. His voice is cold as steel, turning my palms sweaty. I get a terrible feeling that I've just made a mistake. Wait, then No, no more playing around. It seems like you got too caught up in trying to play God, kid. Rui's staying out. Sorry, guess you won't be able to see her. Get over back to school, I'll give you 15. If you don't come by then, well, I guess you'll have to say bye-bye to dear Rui. And this thing hangs up. Shit. Running. Blurs, left, blah. Weather we're having. Voice. Down. Exercise. This is power play. What can you do about it? Gadgets. Do so. I mean, the machines come in, wasting time. Go back to the son of a bitch. Oh, yep, same thing. Yep. Son of a bitch! Okay. That didn't take long. We're gonna try this again. Alright. Accept these terms. Here's where I am. Transform. At school. 15 minutes. Okay, we're gonna skip. Blah, 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 blah. Smile, 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 smile. Smile, smile, smiles. Smile, 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 smiles. Crazy, crazy, smile, smile, crazy. 2 students. Speak. 2 students. 2 students. Blah, blah, brother and sister. Yes. Skip. Stall. 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 Okay. Attack Rhea. Pull up my shoulder with great deliberation. Passes, and I fling the pup around me straight over the girl's head, right into Ryota. Off guard, barely raises 5 in time, the force will catch my shoulder. I think advantage. Shoots the trees. Put the shock. Yeah. Advantage. Run forward. Swing. Right to the side step. To the duck. Right in my leg. Ah! Pain to my pain. Wait for your elders. Arm knife. He tumbles. His neck. Direction. Precision. Oh shit. P.S. We just killed her again. Okay. Fucking hell, we will get this. Accept these terms. Blah 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 blah. Da, 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 da. 2 students. Blah. Female siblings. Okay. Stall. Hit the girl. Just like this, and it seems like everything's only option is to go with the flow. I immediately step forward, knuckles turning white as I raise the pipe. Shiguri said she would bring the police. Shiguri needs me to buy time. Buying time means abiding by the game, drawing it out, pain without mercy, conscious damage. Yama, please, close your eyes. The voice that comes from my mouth is cold and blank, nothing like my own. I keep my eyes open if I swing the pipe down, knowing that I'll only endanger the girl further if I close them. I see the pipe descend. I see the girl's eyes widen. I see... Ah! The vibration rocks from the tip of the pipe through my arms to my eyes, which rattle in their sockets. I feel the impact of her arm giving away beneath my own hands. Something in me, something I hadn't known was there, slinks away into the shadows, gone forever. The girl gasps for breath as her brother bursts into tears. No! A brother, a sister, doomed to die. I step back, hands shaking uncontrollably. Ryota only throws back his head and laughs. Oh yes, that's it. I was worried for a moment, thinking that you'd pansy out. But you mean business right now, don't you? There must be something, some other way, some advantage, something that doesn't involve this. I still myself, keeping my eyes fixed on the girl before me. Faking shock? Maybe. I can't say I'm really faking. Meanwhile, I let my mind cast about the room, mentally recalling every sensory memory that shelved away as I entered the classroom, searching for some miraculous solution. The door sprung open beneath my touch as I stepped into the classroom. My fingers enveloped the nighttime gloom. Ryota stormed behind me, letting every footstep vibrate through the floor, up the door frame, and to the foundations of the building itself. He was enjoying himself, maybe a little too much. He was waiting for this moment, I think. The students that he'd carved to pieces might have pleased him temporarily, but this night, this would be his magnum opus, and he wanted to relive it 1,000 times over. He grinned with confidence as he cupped his hands round his mouth. And the delinquent arrives at last. I shuffled further into the room, squinting into the darkness. In the meantime, Minota pushes up his sleeves. Wait. Just saw Rui. Wait. Tosses keys. It's on the desk. There's one thing that I overlooked. The mole in the police. No matter how quickly and secretly Shigure might act, there's still a high chance that she'll be found out. After all, it only took a few minutes for that mole to relay news to Ryota. This time shouldn't be any different. Any time now, a phone call could warn Ryota, tell him to get away, and that would be the end. It doesn't matter if I manage to distract him with this game. It's not like he'll ignore a phone call from his accomplice. In that case, I need to get rid of that phone. I have a pipe in my hand, and I just a step away from his desk. The main problem is breaking it without Ryota noticing. Or if he does notice, he won't think I'm knowingly sabotaging him. Hello, Urtoyama Ishimoto. What, is this a little too much for you? My voice catches and squeaks, which makes me sound exceedingly helpless. That's a good thing. Ryota giggles quietly, but his eyes are narrowed. I'm just safe right here so I don't have to do this bullshit again. This must be a little rough, Do you feel like you're hitting your poor sister? I wouldn't worry. She's already dead, you know that. I grip the pipe tighter, my knuckles whitening with pressure. The rough edges of the metal start to cut into the palm of my hand. I welcome the anger, the panic, the helplessness that's swirling through my blood, gathering into one tangled ball of black emotion. Must still be sour for you, kid, no? Would you rather hit the little boy? Shut up. Yama, please, don't listen to him. Come to think of it, if he has some fun when you have the boy, you'd finally let out all that self-hatred. Yama, he's just trying to get to you. You can fight it. Shut up, you bitch! With frightening speed, he bounces across the classroom and seizes Rui by her hair, yanking backward until her neck is at an unnatural angle. Yeah. You know, I liked you at first, but now you're just a little yapping dog. I should slit your throat right now. Feed your esophagus to the brat over there. He gestured to the boy who's fastened to the chair. Rui makes instinctive whimpering deep in her throat. Do we have an understanding? Yes. Do we have an understanding, you blathering whore? Yes! Something locks my brain and all my emotions draw away to feel an empty automation. You shouldn't have touched her. My vision blurred with rage as I raise the pipe with both hands, my arms shaking. Cold. Everything feels so cold. The edges of my lips pull into an unbidden smile as a fleeting vision passes before my eyes. Ryota's body, battered and broken at my feet, waiting for me to make an imprint. I seize the vision, even as a deeper part of my mind shrinks away in horror. I let it control me. You shouldn't have touched Rui Hayata. I slam the pipe down with as much force as possible. The metal pulses against the floor with the ear-splitting crack. Splinters of something white and shiny shoot away from the point of impact like a spray of bullets. The boy and the girl shrink back in their chairs, staring at me with wide eyes. It's irrelevant. Get away from her. I let my voice increase in volume. I let it shake, let it steep with madness and fury. Rui steps back inadvertently. Not out of fear, but out of surprise. He almost seems pleased with my transformation. I lunge forward, my voice exploding shrilly out of my throat. Get away! Get away from her, or I'll kill you! I start swinging the pipe madly like an unbalanced marionette on a string, letting the end swivel into the desk, chairs, wall, anything. I rush at Ryota, but he nimbly weaves away between the desk and tightens his grip on his own pipe. My pipe passes within an inch of Rui's face as I whirl around, bowling into Ryota's direction, towards the desk. I vaguely register a look of open horror from Rui, but I flicker away with my own mind like a gnat. I lunge at Ryota with a full force blow, swinging down, letting out a vicious scream. And just as I was hoping, Ryota is startled by my sudden burst of energy, and instinctively dodges to the side instead of blocking my blow. My pipe slices downward, splitting the polished surface of the teacher's desk, sending shards of wood flying. The impact rattles at my arm into my skull, but most importantly, I've hit Ryota's phone dead center. It shatters into a new pile of rubble, the resulting crackle masked by the destruction. I didn't dare take a pause. I can't celebrate the small victory. I stand to let my anger fester and take hold of the pipe in my hands. I'll kill you right here, Ryota! I swing again at him, and he steps back, adjusting the grip on his pipe. He's getting ready to counterattack. The momentum in my arms carries my weapon straight into the wall, sending the plaster cracking. I let loose a scream of frustration, something that rips my throat raw and ricochets against the broken wall. From the corner of my periphery, I can reach to Rui clasping her hands. Yama, please, stop. Is that the best you got, kid? You still haven't landed a single blow on this old man. I don't let myself think. I just swing the pipe unblinkingly at his head, knowing that I won't hit it. And Ryota drops down, just as I suspect. His eyes widen with glee as he swings his own pipe with one hand, and my stomach suddenly lurches back against my spine with a piercing hammer of agony. I'm sent sprawling to the ground, and Rui is screaming faintly in my ears. Yama! And then the coldness, numbness, the emptiness, it all melts away, and I suddenly feel weary, like every footstep is being pulled through mud. The bowl of pent-up aggression in my gut is replaced with the pounding soreness from the impact of Ryota's pipe. For a moment, I let myself lie there, splinters of wood and plastic pricking into my back. It would be so easy to just close my eyes and sleep. Let this whole world drift away. Get up, boy. Game's not over yet. Unless you mean to forfeit. And, that's right. I can't forfeit, because there's other lives on the line. That's what came here for. To help these other people. To save some lives. I start to push myself up. My abdomen clenches in pain. I graciously fell back to the floor, my back stinging from the tiny daggers of fragments embedded into the ground. So no forfeit? Pity! I turn to my side and try again. This time I lean on the reminders of the desk, curling my arms against my aching stomach. Where was that energy from a split second ago? Why am I so tired? I guess that I tend to charge ahead when I have a purpose, and without that purpose, I just run on a broken engine. I needed to break that phone. Now I've broken it. What's left? Wait, how long? When will Shiguri come? Cute playboy. I see what you're trying to do. My veins fill with dread. It is every ounce of self-control for me to not cast a glance at the buried phone. Unfortunately for you, noise isn't an issue. You can throw a tantrum all day, and no one will hear a thing. The new curfew keeps kids in the dorm court. No one's gonna take a stroll around the classrooms when they could be playing foosball in the common room. I don't have energy to respond. I don't even feel my face move. Gradually, the cold, welcoming emptiness of my mind is dissipating, replaced with a creeping sensation of utter what? Something dark, black, something that feels like it's squeezing my temples and smothering my nostrils until I can't breathe. Well, that was an interesting intermission. Must be my turn again, no? He weighs the pipe casually in his hands, like he's adjusting his hold on a baseball bat, and lifts it over his shoulder. I only register his words when he steps forward, sliding closer to the boy's side. Suddenly, the past of bolt pain in my diaphragm, I'm screaming, "No!" Ah! I automatically close my eyes at the moment of impact, but that doesn't make the crunch of its collapsing bone any less loud. Ryota struck the boy's hand this time. I keep my eyes off it, scared at witnessing the damage for myself, but judging from the boy's shocked stare, it's just as bad as it sounds. But please, don't hurt him. Oh, I wouldn't worry if I were you. You'll be getting your fair share of pain. She groaned at this, loud and anguished, bubbling in her throat like a clot of blood. Breaking the phone wasn't enough. There has to be more. Something else I can do. Are you enjoying this? I filler as my mind scrambles for something more adequate. Why, yes, I am. Thanks for asking. And you even enjoy the previous students? They were alright. This little show has been the best by far. It's like playing chess against a toddler versus playing chess against a rival. One just doesn't bring that satisfying challenge, you know? I can't feel good about pulling a checkmate on a little kid who was not even potty trained. He's becoming more talkative, taking his focus off the game. Even if it's just a little bit, I seize it with desperation. Maybe they were more of a challenge than you thought. I figured you out just from the clues they dropped. At this bold claim, Ryota tilts his head like a broken doll. See the deranged gears in his head picking up speed ever so slowly. Because Ryota doesn't like games with only pain, suffering, and injury. Ryota likes to think. Ryota is intelligent. Ryota would look for a battle of wits just as readily. Even in this pipe game, its twisted mix of sadism and psychology, his mind clashing against mind, trying to make me succumb to his methods. Maybe there's a way to pique his interest and bring the floor back into balance. It's the last hope I have. You always were a sharp kid, weren't you? I had high expectations for you, but you've exceeded every one of them. You deserve a gold star. I hope you know that a gold star isn't exactly a great incentive at the moment. Oh, but I read that positive reinforcement is better than punishment, particularly when it comes to children. To be fair, I've always thought of it as a ruse. Punishment gets results. You just need to look at history to realize that. It's because of whips and taskmasters that the ancient pyramids and the great terracotta army were built. Meanwhile, what has modern humanity done? Skyscrapers? What beauty do those hold? They're glorified prisons, cages of metal and glass, meant to trap in pathetic little animals. Is that what you consider success? Building something big? Some people just prefer happiness. Happiness, what a subjective measure of reality. At least impressive structures are tangible. They're made of strong material, carved to loom above the common populace. When you look up, you realize the depth of man's insignificance. Happiness? What can measure happiness? How many smiles I send per day? Or, oh, let's not forget the first world dream, living in a mansion with a Ferrari and thousands of servants. Nothing brings happiness, but so much brings awe. That this is just a meaningless stall for time, but I'll take it. He's starting to warm up, and weirdly enough, so am I. Maybe happiness is subjective, but awe, does it really bring fulfillment? Doesn't it? Haven't you ever stood on the precipice of a great chasm and just thought, oh, I could just die happy at this moment? It's an unparalleled feeling in the world, child. You seem to be regarding me with skepticism. Then pray tell, what is your opinion? What makes you happy in this foolish little world? What makes me happy? Something about the question seems to be a trap. Is he waiting for something to use against me? Is it time for another layer of psychological warfare? My friends, I could say. My friends make me happy. Then he'd point out how none of them were here, how I've endangered the only one who mattered, how friends are simply an arbitrary term for a circle of useless acquaintances. All I would feel is despair. Then what else could I offer as an answer? Being alive. Being alive to do what? Feel and experience everything that life has to offer. Then Ryota would say that if the gift of life is enough to bring happiness, then everyone should always be happy. The slave beneath the whip, the trafficked girl in a brothel, the prisoner of war on a rack. And again, I'd only feel despair. What makes me happy? What fuels me to get up in the morning and keep going? Altruism? Hardly. I think most people in the world are pretty stupid and don't deserve to live. Love? Yeah, as if I'm a fountain of affection. What is there to fuel me? What makes me happy? Anything I think of, I know that Ryota can warp and use against me. He'll try to break me with my own words. Oh? Have I been caught? A shame we have to meet under these circumstances, child. Your mental faculties are truly impressive. Do you understand the theme of my lecture? I can't say I do. Will there be a study guide? You're already in the test, boy. I'm afraid it's too late. Simply put, he who has the most drive has the most strength, and he who has most strength has the most power. Look at you. You can't even tell me what makes you happy, whereas I give you a confident answer. Why do you suppose that you are so powerless while here I stand invincible? You even took my lack of answer and used it against me. I try to tell myself that it was the right decision. Are you saying that you won? I'm just reporting facts. But even if I'm weaker, I can still beat you. I already beat you. Nobody was supposed to know that you were responsible for the killings. The recent ones, or the independent ones. Ryota stops in his tracks, his eyes glinting. Well, whatever the independent killings were, looks like he really was the person behind them. It's a breather that I desperately seize. I try to cover my fatigue by flinging a challenging look in his direction. Even busier than I thought. Doesn't seem to be too hard. People don't tend to expect much from me. But you've made friends in high places, High places? This throws me for a loop. What does he mean by high places? I got that information from Natsuki, and she lives in a shabby apartment in District 6. No, I can't be distracted. I have to keep the conversation flowing. Make him lose track of time. Just how many people have you killed? The Aztecs had this remarkable belief system. Would you like to hear it? I just asked a question. In order to appease the gods to keep the universe running smoothly, they were to offer constant human sacrifices. Priests would rip out the hearts of prisoners of war while they were yet alive. If they slackened performing the ritual, the kingdom as they knew it would fall to pieces. That's why you keep people to keep Isamu running? What kind of reason is that? Oh, what? You think I'm the priest? His voice drops and takes on a hint of something unfamiliar. My spine tingles in apprehension. I am not the priest, child. I am the god. I receive bloody offerings. I do not give them myself. This city must earn my goodwill. At least I paint the streets red with my vengeance. The ones who scorn me will be obliterated by the very words of their own mouth. Oh, dear child, you know nothing of the beauty of pure, unadulterated strength. I open my mouth, willing a snarky remark to come forth, but there's nothing. My hands are shaking, tightened against my throbbing stomach. What kind of madness has seized this guy? I straighten and open my mouth wider, hoping that something will come out. Anything. If I don't say anything, if I don't distract him, even if it means I have to listen to more of his insanity. Your antics amuse me, boy, but our intermission has come to an end. We must return to our little game. Too late, the opportunity has been lost, and now I'm rattled and I can't recover. In terms of psychological damage, he's won handily. I don't think it could have happened any other way. Like a puppet master overseeing a play, he has total control over every scene. Well, boy, it's your turn. What's your move? Stall? I can't keep hitting her. It's a pity that life doesn't change, whether you can or can't do something. Fuck. Okay, I'm going to save. Why did that happen to you? Oh, are we having a little heart-to-heart? Then something must have happened, something that turned you pretty bitter. You'd love it if it were true, wouldn't you? Hurry up, clock's ticking, boy. Okay, save again. Spastic saver, spastic saver. Lord knows, shit's about to go down. Stall? That's enough, boy. You've shown my patience for too long. No, wait. No more waiting! It has flared with rage as he leans forward, every muscle tightened from spine to neck. I instinctively shrink back, mind whirling. If this is the case, I can't just let things continue on. I need to act now. Okay. And I sprint to strike the girl again. Moments passes. Fling the pup around me straight, the girl sent right into Ryota. Surprise to caught off guard. Force, scratch the bow. No! Anything. Damn it. Instinct. Immediately sees the moment, bring down his own pipe, crying in my leg. Wah! Voice, the elders, the manners. Heart farm. Forward, right into his neck, make a resurrection. Corrosion. Correction second. Shit. Damn it! Okay. Fuck you. Hit the girl. No other option, I have to just follow along. My hands shake as I step closer, raising the pipe. Maybe I can get away with hitting softer. No, it's a dumb idea. I know it's a dumb idea. Ryoto would immediately know, and then he'd make me hit her again. Can't close my eyes. Might accidentally kill her if my aim is off. So I keep them wide open until the air pulls tears out of them. Then I swing the pipe. Yeah! Her arm hangs limply over the edge of the chair, bent at an unusual angle that raises bile in my throat. How must she be feeling at the moment? How can she stand it? Held captive for no reason, every nerve screaming fire at her, begging her consciousness to fade, but finding no relief. How could she live through that kind of miserable existence? Say, kid, you're not looking too hot. Want to call in sick today? Call in a sick day? I doubt that's an option. I want to say something unaffected and cynical, something that keeps me safe from the mess of the world. Instead, my mouth opens to pull a topic to divert the conversation. You said you killed people for fun, essentially. Oh, does that bother you? I assume it would bother most people. But if I remember correctly, the Aztecs, well, they killed other strong warriors to transfer the strength to the sun. So what made you turn on a bunch of helpless students? Even when I asked the question, the inner crevices of my mind whisper quietly, is it worth it? Isn't this just prolonging an agonizing demise? But what other option is there? Come to think of it, earlier you mentioned being an executioner. Yeah, good observation, kid. Let's just say that it's no coincidence that all the victims are connected to Ikari's son, How fun. You're about to join that number. That makes me falter. Of course, if Yahiko isn't the killer, but has a connection to every single victim, it has to bear significance. How could I have overlooked that? What do you even have against Yahiko? He's harmless. He's gentle. He feels like a little kid in a broken world. Something so stupidly innocent that it's refreshing. I have nothing against Yahiko. You're asking the wrong question. He has nothing against Yahiko, but he's killing people close to him. That's an incredibly drastic maneuver. Why would a serial killer suddenly focus attention on someone like Yahiko? His family! No matter how hard I think of it, the answer eludes me. No, it doesn't! It's his family. But I can't falter him. I can't let him remember the continue the game. Think. If I were Ryota, if I were some psychotic man who loved to kill people, no, inflict extreme agony, then why would I do such a thing? What is Yahiko that I'm not? What does Yahiko have that I don't? Yahiko is arrogant, a dreamer, easily excitable, oblivious. No, these are personality traits. Think deeper. Motive. The Ikari's son, Ryota said before. The Ikari's. If it doesn't have to do with the past history, they don't really know each other that well after all. Then is it because of money? Money. Connections. Yahiko is the son of two higher-ups at Lemonscape. If Ryota doesn't have anything against Yahiko, then could he have anything against his parents? If you were aiming for Yahiko's parents, it seems like I'm a lot more effective to target the people around them. Still have that brain of yours, I see. Yes and no. Yes, since Yahiko is just an easy avenue to his parents. But targeting the people around his parents themselves, instant suspicion. Not to mention artless and cliche. I thought you'd be smarter than that. A little thought bothers me. Why is he so open with his information? No, I don't have time to consider this right now. I just have to accept it. Think more. I am Ryota. Even now, I want to see blood, to hear screams, too. No, something is clashing. Students aren't a challenge. They're too easy for me. The wretched pests. Their deaths are simple and insignificant. They will be remembered for what? A day? 2? Perhaps 5 years by their families. But eventually they will fade into consequential nothingness, because they are young and meaningless. Another tally in a long list of missing persons. Whereas, if I can get my hands on a politician or a world leader or even a company executive, mourning for weeks, months, years, remembrance in history books. The man who killed the king, or the president, or the emperor, I shall make my mark in society forever, a beautiful thread filling up the space of an intricate tapestry. But instead, I've decided to kill students, to capture insignificant little rodents, just to put the pressure on the Ikari family. What a joke. Why am I even doing this? The Ikari family is threatening me? No, certainly my judgment may be more swift. I would care not about my own death as long as I could have them suffer first. Were they threatening me, I would see them in their rooms the next night with a knife in my hand and a grin on my face. Capital punishment would be insignificant. I would face the chopping block gladly in that case. Money? Perhaps someone is commissioning me with a money incentive? Tisk, as if. I'm paid in blood. Currency is of little value to my psyche. If I really needed the pocket change, a few black market inquiries would do. Perhaps I need something money can't buy. Something that only a certain commissioner has. And if the only way to get it is to pressure the Ikaris, even if it means killing rabbits. To do that, I started with someone only slightly related to Yahiko. Midori Maeno. They would not even notice. Yahiko may mourn, the compassionate imbecile, the Ikaris. It is just an insignificant disappearance. Then Toma Hayashi, who interacted with her son on a greater level, in the orientation group that Yahiko led. That may raise some eyebrows and call for suspicion, but nothing that the Ikaris can prove. Next, Akane Tsukino, girlfriend of Soji, who was close to Yahiko due to the Happy Club. Soji himself followed thereafter, a spiral of people with Yahiko Ikari at its center. The poor soul would not understand what's going on, but surely his parents would. And in return, I would receive something of enormous value, something that money cannot buy, even if it means that I must sacrifice a portion of my dignity. Heh. Yama? You, Ryota, are on someone else's payroll? You are a freelancer with a client? You are no artist. You have no satisfaction. How the mighty have fallen, once a predator feared by all, able to strike whenever and wherever he so pleased, now a mindless guillotine with no will of its own. How great is your greed that you would betray your love of art for this? But oh, you fool, you conquer dogs and rats. Silence. His voice teams of ice, and I feel his psyche wreathing in humiliation, and it's just so thrilling. When they screamed, how easy it must have been to forget. Just as a man can distract himself with symphonies, so he can distract himself with agony. But when you returned, when you lay your head on your pillow, you must have realized the bitterness of your own insignificance. Rabbits, pawns, you are pest control. Do not test me, boy. But I'm caught up in the euphoria, a welcome distraction from the never-ending cycle of pain and panic that plagued me before. Selling your soul for a delusion, a pittance. Do you never wish to go back to happier times, a time where you were a shadow with a name? The independent killings, nothing is more fearsome than the unknown. The people who knew about them, they were terrified. Were they terrified? Did they huddle in their beds every night, unable to sleep, thinking that they could be next? Did it stroke your ego, knowing that the one who held their fate in their hands was you? Or were those killings also at the discretion of your employer? Were there further connections that the police simply could not deduce? Was that also a primeval commission? Ryota grits his teeth and digs his fingers into the nearest desk, but he doesn't say a word. Then I'm right. I'm right about everything. Here you are, the fearsome Cerebus, yet you're bound to a pathetic little leash. Caught up in corporate politics at that, where there's nothing but bigwigs and bickering like toddlers. What exactly do you need so badly? I can't imagine you'd be craving for love or friendship. Give me a quick reminder, what else can money not buy? Respect, naturally good looks, peace of mind, or should I say, an honest politician? Motives, Ryota. Motives are interesting things, aren't they? Everybody likes to think their motive is special and unique, but in the end, they're all the same. Money, love, power. Which of these applies to you? Or do you still think that you're all that special? That you're something more than an empty little puppet dancing with strings of someone else's fingers? What a sick existence. What an agonizingly wonderfully meaningless exist. Yama, stop it! This is not winning! Ryota's voice shocks me out of character, like a fish suddenly pulled out of water. I stand idly for a moment, my mind blank. Not winning. Of course. I wanted to win over Ryota. I wanted it so badly that I became Ryota. And I let myself stay as him, even though I despise him more than I've ever despised anyone. But even that isn't winning. It's just losing. Because to become Ryota would just be to win the battle and lose the war. I'm already inflicting injury on innocent students with a metal pipe, just like Ryota would. If I lose my own mind. Cute display kid. Real cute. He's smiling assuringly, already recovered. His voice is calm, but I catch a note of tension that wasn't there before. I get the impression that I made a terrible mistake, and if I had proceeded, well, he would have snapped. What would have happened if he snapped? Would we all look like these two students bound to their chairs, broken, helpless, pleading for death? I shouldn't have tried. What else should I have done? Just gone along with the status quo? Would that have resulted in anything different? Know what's interesting? You're still missing something, aren't you? You think you've read the whole book. You think you know how it ends. You think you know the whole pattern. But you're still blind. See out of one eye, boy, but not the other. Missing part of the pattern? I don't understand. Think harder, boy. So, the sequence of deaths has to do with Yahiko. So what? So what? The broken gear in the back of my mind slowly begins to turn forward. Right, all the deaths revolve around Yahiko. Specifically, over time, those deaths have gone closer and closer to their epicenter, almost like a whirlwind sucking in its surroundings. Closer to Yahiko. Within the school, the closest people are... Oh, are me, Rui, and Masato. The inseparable gang that hangs out together, day in, day out, flailing through life with a bunch of rambunctious high school shenanigans. Of course. That was why he was instantly picked up the phone. That was why he was prepared for my call. That was why he kidnapped Rui. Because we were already the next ones on his list. No. Oh, that was quick. Congratulations! To be honest, boy, the Kuragane boy should be here too. But ha, guess what? He goes to bed early. Too early. Out like a light. Doesn't answer his phone. I even prepared my whole excuse and everything. I suddenly feel so very tired, weighed down. My intellect is fraying away. I feel my sanity bleeding out of my body. Just let it end. It was all planned from the very beginning. I can't keep holding out. I can't prolong this misery. I try to one-up Ryota, and I only end up in a worse state than before. If that trend continues, my eyes drift aimlessly to the ground, the pipe swaying limply between my fingers. Blood dripping quietly down from the chairs, a small amount, a terrifyingly small amount, given how much damage was inflicted. How much internal bleeding must there be? How much pain? And now I know Ryota's motives and history. So what? I'm still an accomplice in manslaughter, bit by bit wiping out opportunities in this girl's life. The dream of playing on sports teams, the dream of being a pianist, the dream of marrying a normal guy and having normal kids, shamelessly and brutally striking those dreams from existence with no method of recovery. She's someone who actually has opportunities in life, and they're being taken away by someone else. Ah, the injustice of the world. You better be grateful that I'm a patient man. A lesser being would have peeled your forearm in layers for your insolence. The mental image pulses in front of my eyelids, and I stumble backwards, nausea surging to my throat. That's right, I'm just a kid trying to fight a seasoned serial killer. What was I thinking? I used my hands and pushed against the desk, shakingly trying to prop myself on my feet. I only clasped bonelessly to the ground, legs like gelatin. I can't continue like this way. Not much longer. I see blood on the edge of the pipe in my hands, blood that's not there, blood that I know isn't there, but blood that still weeps down the metal and coats my hands. All is silent save for the strangled sob of two injured kids, two dying siblings, side by side. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Well, I guess it's my turn again. You know, I'm really giving you an advantage here by going first. Now you'll always be one hit ahead. Please, let's just stop. He ignores my faint whisper and steps forward, adjusting his grip on the pipe. The boy whimpers, incomprehensible words spilling out his mouth. Sorry, kids, but the world doesn't listen to begging, and neither will I. swing spiked with vindictive justice, perhaps as payback for my insolence. I flinch instinctively this time, barely missing the moment of impact, and then a chair screeches against the ground, a piercing scream that rends the air, a light, sweet chuckle from a man who's lost his mind. As I focus my eyes open, I catch an unfamiliar, pungent smell. Vomit, dripping from the boy's mouth, pooling over the sides of his chair to the floor below. My stomach turns over. My grip rattles against the pipe. Oh yes, this is life, children. The beauty of pain has no substitute. I step forward, forcing words out of my dry mouth. We need to stop. I can't handle this. Reza swivels on me, the joy in his eyes immediately dissipating. We're just getting to the good part. You're saying you're gonna forfeit? Quitters never prosper, boy, and you wonder why you've never prospered. I drop to my knees harder than I intended. The shakiness of my limbs give my legs a solid blow against the ground. This is no longer an act. Groveling is showing a vulnerability. It's not just another strategy anymore. I have no other way out, no other hope. Please, don't do this. Do what? I can't find the words, so I only sweep my hands around the room. Oh, all of this? The whole captivity thing? The game? The fun? I managed a nod. Then, will you lick my shoe? He stamps his foot in the puddle of the boy's vomit, shaking it teasingly at me. I don't make a move. I'm waiting. I open my mouth, fighting for words. Nothing comes. The vomit gleams on the soles of his shoe, mocking me. Rui makes an instinctive sound of distress, gripping her chair with whitened hands. I stare at the shoe, willing myself to lean forward. I don't move. You see, boy, you're not really ready to really beg. Why? Because you're still clinging to your pride, pathetic as it is. Some part of you believes that you will still have control over the situation. Some part of you believes that some miracle will bail you out. If you were really ready to beg, if you really threw away your pride, you wouldn't be aiming for the limbs, no? When you hold that pipe, you'd be aiming right for the skull. That is your only hope right now, the only hope for all of you. Death. But sadly for you, I don't like to rush my executions. It's just such a waste. I shakily clamber to my feet, weighing my arms on the table to pull myself up. Pride, belief, control over the situation? Do I really have any of those things? Maybe he's right. Maybe if I really was hopeless, I would have already crushed 2 skulls and resigned myself for a long, excruciating death. But here I stand with a pipe, ready to hit again. Why? So, now your little dramatic stint has ended, I believe it's time for your turn. He tilts his knife against the moonlight in Rui's direction, sending a fresh reminder of the stakes. Stall. So you don't like to rush. I know you're a tricks boy, and I'm not in the mood to entertain them. Fuck. Hit the girl. I grip the pipe, arm shaking as I raise it over my shoulder. But aren't you stuck here forever? The fight. Isn't it getting too tiring? Aren't you exhausted? You're not strong enough to face this. I shake my head and squeeze my eyes shut, trying to knock the voice out of my head. We can't do this, Yama. This is wrong. We can't. I swing the pipe. Arrgh! No. No. The pipe drops out of my shaking fingers. I lean heavily against the nearest desk. My knees too weak to support my weight. I can't do this. Oh, sure you can. You're doing great. Orietta lifts the pipe over the boy, whose face is coated with a mixture of sweat and tears, slicking his hair against his forehead. The boys slide to mine, begging silently, hating the day he was born. Orietta sends an icy smirk with a sheen of madness, reminding me of my earlier behavior. Payback, he seems to be saying, but I do nothing. Nyah! The note is raw this time, raw from an overused throat that has been screaming far more than it should. When it descends into silence, I can hear the breath of 2 stones rattling in their lungs, shallow and anguished. Blood is starting to trickle from their mouths, slowly, down the corner of the jaw and dripping onto their pristine uniforms. Death would be the far better option. How much time has passed? It feels like days, stretched out and pushed against each other. Practically, I know that it can't be more than a few hours. The sun hasn't started rising yet, but holding out for this long only seems like delaying the inevitable. And in the meantime, harming innocents along the way. Why did it have to be you? Who? Be Pacific boy. I wished it wasn't you. Shape up and tell me. Ambiguity helps no one. You shouldn't have been the killer, Ryota. He was supposed to help me. He was supposed to get me through school, through drama, through life. Not this. Never this. Stall. I'm not gonna get fucked up again. I thought that you were with us. Why? Do you feel betrayed? Save again? Spastic saver? I thought of all people, it wouldn't be you. Unfortunately, that is a fallacy of your own thinking. If we hit her again, she'll probably die. But why? Why you? You know nothing, boy. Quit your dawdling. Oh, shit. P.S. No, wait. No more waiting. That's fire rage. This is the case. I can't let these go on. I need to act now. Put the pipe on my shoulder. Okay. Fastest. Toyota. Caught off guard. Grab my leg. Blah, blah, blah. Elders. Damn it. I am so close. Okay, hit the girl. Pipe the girl. She no longer has hate in her gaze. She doesn't even have this slightly hint of anguish. Everything is just empty. I whisper it again, the trivial excuse that does nothing to help the situation. I'm sorry. This time, though, she responds, quietly, moving nothing but her mouth. I know. And I swing the pipe. The blow bouncing against my arms as the bone of her leg fractures beneath the hard metal. The resulting scream is just another repeat, another skip on a broken record player. I falter backward, the pipe rubbing my hands raw. Reminds me that every bent limb, every cry of pain, is all of my own doing. No one held my arm. No one swung the pipe. Every blow was my choice. No one bears that blame but me. And I don't know if I can continue to hold up. There's no sign of sirens in the distance, no janitor making his rounds, not even a student in sight. Just 4 teenagers and a serial killer with a knife. That and one solid pipe in my hands. I could say that I don't know what to do. I could say that I'm helpless. But it would be far more accurate to say that I know exactly what to do. I'm just too scared to do it. What, no begging this time? Why am I almost disappointed? He strikes the boy again, a brutal blow that crushes his fingers. The boy retches as he screeches, choking on his own vomit, the wet, crumpled cough that results is far more painful to hear than any scream. It's the sound of a human who's slowly dying. Stop it, please. Somehow. I stepped to the side of the girl, gripping the pipe so tightly that its rough patches began to dig into my palms. I've gathered enough time. I've tried my best. The police aren't coming. In a situation where there should have been a way out, any way out, there is none. The only relief I can bring is by murdering as many of these students as I can. Murder. I've heard so many times that taking a life changes you, that once you get blood in your hands, you stop being human. Will that happen in this case? Killing this girl? Turn me into a monster? I don't know. I just know that there are 3 innocent students here, and if I don't do something, they'll be stuck in this never-ending cycle of agony. And it'd all be better if they just died earlier. It would have been better if I just killed them earlier. I don't want this, but is there any other choice? I just want everyone to be okay. Fuck. Attack Ryota. No, Ryota is one at fault. He'll be the one to pay. I pull the pipe over my shoulder with great deliberation, as if preparing for myself to strike the girl again. A moment passes. Then I fling the pipe around me, straight over the girl's head, right towards Ryota. Surprisingly, he's caught off guard and barely raises his pipe in time. The force of my blow crashes right against his weapon, driving into his shoulder. He grunts with pain, but I feel no bones give away, nothing to give me an advantage. Fear spikes through me, but I refuse to freeze. But when the shock of initial swarms off, he seems to be, no, I have to hit him. I have to take revenge. I lunge forward, pulling up the strength, the next swing. Which doesn't sidestep, he doesn't duck, only bronzes dance. Yellow plane. Right on my leg. Ugh! Pain, nothing but pain. Words voice mockingly. Now, child, that's how you treat your elders. No, you know what? Poor decisions come with consequences. He whips Rui's direction, pipe raising high, the hands win. Suddenly, from outside the window, light blasts into the classroom, followed by the shrill overtones of a megaphone. Julieta, stand down! You are surrounded! Release the students or we will shoot you! Am I hearing things? Have I gone insane? Is the pain in my leg clouding my mind? My eyes instinctively search for out Ruiz. Her expression is a mess. Horror mixed with sorrow mixed with relief. It's real then. Shiguri came. But even though she came... I glance at Ryota. He's frozen in shock, his hands automatically patting down his pockets, searching for his phone. The phone that I smashed to pieces with a metal pipe. It just solidifies my suspicions. He would have been notified if I hadn't managed to break that phone. But what can we do? I'm paralyzed, and Ryota is hovering right above Rui, knife clutching tight in his hand. And suddenly, he's recovered from his momentary shock, his face collapsing back into a tight smile. Well, looks like party's over! I draw a shuddering breath. Give it up, Ryota. You're surrounded. You're not getting out of this. Oh, I know that. Then put down your knife. Oh, kid. Can't you already tell? A feeling of dread instantly starts creeping in, like my bones are being frosted over. Tell what? I care nothing about punishment, and do not fear death. All that remains is the beauty of suffering. Ryota, this is not a warning we will repeat. The fools. Surely they know better than to bluff when a staff member is at this damned academy. Bluff? Simply put, if they wish to hit me, they must mow down the entire classroom. The windows are tinted from outside, for outsiders. They are blind as bats. No, how can they be true? I saw Rui. When I was outside the academy, I could see her through the window. And the police. They have infrared goggles. Some kind of special vision that can help them aim. You must be lying. The Emperor in his new clothes. All the fools of the world believed they could see that which they did not exist. Only one lonely soul, a mere child, showed them the true path. He released another bout of unhinged laughter. I unconsciously dragged myself backwards, ignoring the pounding ache in my leg. Is this another step in his delusions? He seems to be spiraling down into an even deeper and darker hole. Come here, my lovelies. You are the last entertainment. I will reap of this from this world. He wants suffering. He wants me to suffer. The primary target of his choice is obvious. He turns to Rui, a flicker of madness in his eyes, as if the appearance of the police was the last switch to his sanity. Ryota, we will fire in 5! Ryota pounces with uncanny agility over the desk, flinging his pipe in Rui's direction as he draws his knife with his other hand. Rui throws herself to the side, but she crashes into another desk, sending wood splintering into her arms. 1. Fire now! Now! I hear the rattle of gunfire, but the spray of bullets washes across the windows, embedded like knives in a wooden table. Spiral cracks cover the windows, but not one penetrates. Bulletproof. That's what Ryota meant. Bulletproof? How is that in the files? Someone tell me how that wasn't in the files! Snipers! The perpetrator is moving too quickly. RPGs, now! Inamoto, there's a chance we will kill the students. They are already dying. Fire those weapons now! Nota ignores the outside commotion and tackles Rui against the wall. I hear the dull thump of her head slamming into the plaster. Nah. Enough of this squirming! Ryota's grip tightens on his knife. He raises his hand. In one fluid motion, without hesitation, he pins one arm over her head and drives the knife down forward, straight toward her wrist, and... Ah! Rui! I throw myself forward, but my leg screams in protest. Helpless. Again. Oh yes. What a lovely color. He drags a finger along Rui's forearm, smearing blood across his palm, and licks it with a look of utter bliss. My vision shuffles in front of my vision, and the ache in my leg spreads to my head. You dear child, shoving my piece de resistance. With his heel grinding into my other hand, he reaches into his pocket and pulls out something what expands like butterfly wings. A cold gray switchblade. No, Ryota, don't! He only smiles wider in response, lean closer until the switchblade hovers right below her cheekbones. Your face, dear Rui, is so very lovely, and shall serve as an excellent base. No. No, please. Ah, oh, damn it, what'd I do wrong? Son of a bitch! I thought I did everything right. Do I have to kill her? Shit. Oh well. I'll try again. Later. Bye.